Evening. Today I'm going to be talking about maximum efficiency with building your keep. So to start off, the first thing any lower level keep should be focusing on is advancement research. You want to upgrade this as much as feasibly possible, especially with major focus on gathering resources, but especially the researching and construction researchers. You want those to be absolute maxed before you focus on anything else. This is one you can, for example, not worry about. And I want you guys to focus on researches you need. And ones like this, don't worry about it at all. I've been leveling it up only because I don't have much more to actually waste gold on at this point. That is only this one. It might only take you a minute to go set out a march for farming resources. However, you'll be out there for at least a few hours farming. What's that? What's 10 seconds of that minute? It really is nothing. The only benefit from this thing is actually returning a gathering march as fast as possible, which isn't a big deal. So you want to max out your advanced construction, your typography, your normal construction. Those ones are key. Troop load, that is also very important. It is very important as well as the farming speeds. Um, you need those for better. You need those for better farming. You need those for getting resources faster, and that is super important for developing keep. Even for me, it is super important. Everyone needs resources, and it is a continuous need. So advancement is one of the very first things you'd want to do before you do anything else in this game, right? One of the other early things you should be doing, one of the very early things you should be doing is cultivating your generals. For example, you need to make these points here as high as possible. Early game, doesn't matter what general you do it on. Preferably historic gold generals would be fine. If you only have a few historic gold, just get them leveled up and get their stats up reasonably high, as high as you can get. Don't worry about specializing your general early game too much. Just simply get a general with decent stats, and you'll be using this not even necessarily as a for attacking. The more important component, right, is that you can actually put it on your duties. So, for example, the junior keep officer, medium keep officer, senior keep officer, they give a pretty significant bonuses to your growth. Like, for example, I have a senior keep officer on right now, has plus 15% construction speed and plus 30% training capacity. Right? To unlock these, your general needs to have these stats. For example, as you guys can see, my Menchikov has indeed got those stats, but because he's a more specialized general, start having generals for specific roles. Now, Menchikov for me, right, I have him on the keep because when he's the general, when this general is the keep officer, the construction speed increases by 20%. Do not worry about skills on these generals. If you're using the general just for keeps or duties, don't worry about it. Now, Menchikov, I specialized him in specific skills that he needs. That's a total of 35% construction speed. That is very important. This will help your growth significantly. It is not something you can overlook. Only for being a keep officer. This saves gems. Now the way to do that would be to simply, for example, select leadership, select politics that is needed for keep, right, and deselect total increase. Then you'll want to keep cultivating until these scores up here at the top either equal or match the initial score or 500. Right, that is the cap. You can't go much over 500. If you can, it's only a matter of luck. It's very unlikely. Even as you can see on my Menchikov, I've only got 496 and 498. I haven't exactly tried to push him. I don't need to. Pushing him at this point won't get me any more bonuses. Early game, just have a single general that is specialized for all tasks, right? Early game, just have a general that is suited, that is all-rounded, so you can continue with all tasks. For example, you can simply put him on your keep, take him off, put him on your academy, take him off, put him on your warehouse, take him off. Whatever task you're doing, right? You want a general on that building, right? And you want that general to be maximizing the efficiency of whatever task you're doing, even if it's something like at the forge, right? For example, if I was to make a piece of gear, I'll do this. I'll put, say, an electro on it. She's a special keep officer, right? And then I'll craft something. As you can see, it's 3 days, 11 hours and 48 seconds for a fighter's ring. However, if I remove her, whoops, missed that. If I remove her, it is 5 days and 4 hours for a fighter's ring. That's a 2 days difference, right? And if you're making that difference out of every single item you make, right? This is only a fighter's ring. That's not even talking about the dragon rings, right? The difference is even greater there. These hours of speed ups add up significantly, and the exact same applies with your monarch gear. When you are, for example, building something, put your construction gear on. When you are researching, put your intelligent crown on. When you are training troops, put your martial crown on. When you're healing, put your medicine crown. When you're making traps, put your durable crown. When you're making crafting, put your crafting crown. And make sure these are composed. And this is very easy to do right now. Just simply compose up everything you get, and then equip the highest one. Right? I didn't mean to equip that. Compose. Remove. Compose. There you go. You need to make sure the last one is removed. For now, for general playing around, I typically try to wear the medicine crown because I will need to heal for the most part. Additionally, for maximum efficiency, you want to adjust your talents, right? Currently, I have a medium sort of offensive talent going on right now. For example, march speed, super important, but not so important. Not as important as having higher rank. And not only does that give you higher rank, it also gives you extra monarch experience, and a significant portion too. Right, 20% extra monarch experience, and that is essential for going up levels. This is how you unlock new monarch levels. For the most part, I believe my monarch, if I didn't do offerings, would probably still be level 31. Right? But because I've been offering so much, he's actually level 33, and that is very important for me. Currently, I'm doing bosses, so I have mounted gear on. Right? This is the dynamic nature of the game. Right? I am using his mounted the best for bosses. But if I'm doing attacking, I might have, say, ranged or ground or even siege on, right? Or all troop attacks, depending what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to focus on. Um, Offering, that is something I prefer having on all the time because I need every single day I make offerings at the shrine to increase my rank or keep my rank the highest in the server. Mortality, that's for bosses, right? That halves the maximum loss of my bosses for every single fight. Warehouse protection. Um, this is needed if you're going to be, if you're planning to be hit and you're planning to potentially lose. For me, this is practically useless, right? But it increases the capacity of your warehouse to protect resources when you're being attacked. However, at the same time, if you're being attacked, Arch Tower is potentially better if you're planning to win the attack. Um, I would put Archer Tower on in most cases. I don't need to worry about warehouse protection so much. It's just a bad habit. I have warehouse protection on. Healing cost is good for any single case where you're killing bosses, you're getting wounded, you're fighting, you need to heal, right? Any single case where you need to heal a lump sum of troops, right? You need healing cost on. Absolutely need it, right? And even if you have, say, 20,000 or 50,000 wounded, not even that much, right? The top tier troops. Um, Having this on to not having this on pretty much 1/3 your healing cost if you have already completed your medicine research in the defense tab. That is worth the 2,000 gems it cost. It's actually more than worth the 2,000 gems it cost to switch the monarch color. Let me scroll down. But if you're going to be fighting, I would prefer you to always have rescue on. Rescue is super important at max level. It gives 14% death to wounded. Now, as a percentage, that is ridiculously high. If you're going to be attacking someone and it's not a close fight, if you're attacking anyone of even someone close to your keep level, you want that up always, right? That could be 14%. That could be the difference between 100,000 troops going to your hospital instead of going to your dead troops. That is absolutely quintessential. I would not overlook that if you're attacking. It is worth switching on rescue when you're attacking, no matter what. In this row, I don't actually particularly recommend anything. It doesn't really matter so much, especially if you have server nap. For this one, resources plunder, you cannot, if you don't have that on, you can't steal resources from tiles. I live on a server with nap. The only reason I actually have that on, so I can get subordinate city attack, which means each subordinate city at maximum level raises my troop attack by 4%, which is very significant, especially if you have 9 subordinate cities. That's 36% total boost. That is not something you can overlook. However, if I'm opening boxes, it's always worth having resources critical on. Resources critical is quintessential, especially for coiners, but also if you've been farming a lot, especially bosses like B11, B12, warlords, turtles, anything like that, which give a lot of resources, right? Having that on, instead of saying opening 100 million resources, you'll be opening 116 million resources, right? That's probably of each type. So is 2 grand gems worth it? Absolutely. Um, Depends on how much you're opening. I wouldn't use it if you're only opening a couple million. But if you're opening a lot of resources, always, always, always have that active. Training speed, same thing again. With your monarch talents, monarch gears, all that. Go for what you're doing the most at the time. Adjust it a few times a week. Training speed, you want that if you're training troops. However, if you're gathering resources, use gathering boost. It gets you extra resources for free, right? If you're attacking, use fatal strike. If you have a lot of food, use trip upkeep, right? Whatever the situation is, if you are planning to fight and you're not planning to actually win, if you plan to have a lot of losses, then use hospital capacity. Now, these ones are starting to get very high level. I remembered I skipped a couple down here um, that I'm quickly going to explain. Research speed is the same as training speed. You want that if you're researching. Um, Construction, I wouldn't I wouldn't put much emphasis ever to these ones. Not much emphasis ever because they simply don't actually help as much as you'd want, and for the most part, they're not something that you're going to continuously need active. It's the nature of the game. You want to maximize every single action, right? Every single time. You want to make as much resources as you can. You want to spend as minimal amount of speed ups as you can, right? And the way to do that is use your generals, use your monarchy, use your research, right? Um, and use your talents. It's all super important at every single step. You need to make sure, you need to make absolute sure you put on the right general, you put on the right gear, your monarch gear, and that will help things. That will help you grow much more efficiently, and you will find the game will develop much, much, much faster. This is how to maximize your efficiency with building a keep in the game. Um, Obviously, you just want to continuously farm. You want to continuously do bosses. You need your speed ups. You need your resources, right? At no point should you be not farming or doing bosses. They should be perpetual as best as you can. Um, Now, for example, to maximize your resource gathering, obviously you got to do your research. But for a general, um, let's go to my Jindiok. She's one of the best farming generals in the game. Actually, the best one. I have 3. Um, Look what I've done here. Can you see it yet? I only did politics. The reason why is because politics focuses on resource gathering speed, right? And because she is, hold up, because her general skill is already his extra bonus resources, which by the way stacks with resources gathering boost in the talents. Um, you now have something that can farm, say, 10 million resources off a level 13 mine. It is very, very efficient. And she might farm it in, say, 5 hours, right? Which is very fast. She could quite comfortably make, if I have 5 of these, I could quite comfortably make 200 million resources a day. And with her skills, I have food, lumber, and ore gathering speeds built on her. Other ones have a mixture of, say, the same ones might have some stone and some other ones. For example, I think I have stone in this one. There we go. I have plenty of stone, but I still recognize that I need to farm it. And I need to farm in balance. And that is one of the things I've been focusing on. That's how to maximize your general growth in any keep, no matter what level you are. And it will help you typically in all scenarios, whether you are K15 or K35. And trust me, the greater the higher level you are, the more important each one of these steps are. Because instead of saving, say, maybe 2 days for a king's ring, you might save 100 days on something else. And I am very, very confident you could save even more on some researches or some key buildings. It is absolutely essential you have them all maximized. This game isn't cheap. It's very time consuming. So you may as well make the best of your time, best of your money, and just so you can focus on getting your keep stronger, so you can enjoy what you've invested into it better. Thank you for listening. If you've learned something new today, give me a like, share, or subscribe. Hope to see you with my other videos. Alright, thank you. Take care. Goodbye.